This one is for all the fans of the Nissan Skyline series. I've grown to like the Skyline series by collecting these model cars. The Skyline actually dates way back to 1957, so it's been out for a long time. They're on the 13th generation chassis now. But what we're looking at here is the 7th generation Skyline, called the R31. And this model was made by a company, UCC Coffee. It came with 2 cans of coffee that would sit underneath this piece of plastic. So can of coffee, and this is a freebie they gave out to promote their canned beverages. So yeah, I guess it only came in UCC black flavor. Alright, let's see what's going on here. I have a different video in my history of some other UCC coffee cars, and they're alright. I mean, if you can pick them up for a decent price, I think they're pretty good. Oh, look at this. So they must have come out with a Skyline series, although I'm trying to see if I can find a year. Made in China. Maybe I don't want to read this whole thing, but if you can see the year, I don't see one. But obviously we're going to be looking at this car here, the R31. I have that one. I don't have that, or that. But I know other companies are making this car. Several companies are making that. I think the Inno64 one might be good. Anyways, we don't need to dwell on that. Alright, so let's see how this thing stacks up here. Alright, so the R31 Gen 7 came out in 1985 and ran up until 1990. They were either 1.8 liter inline 4s up to a 3 liter 6-cylinder turbocharged engine. So this is the first Skyline to have 4-wheel steering. And what we're looking at again is a special model called the GTS-R. Okay, so this model came out in 1987, and a little over 800 of these cars were made in real life. And this is the version that has a 2-liter turbocharged engine, making like 200 plus horsepower. And it was actually made for Group A touring to meet that racing class. Okay, and then also another statistic I found is in 1990. It won the Australian Touring Car Championship, so a couple privateers are racing this, so it's relatively successful. I bought this model because I'm not aware of a better brand making an R31 or 7th generation Skyline. Possibly TLV does, I'll have to look. They just make so many cars, I didn't have time to research it, but I got this car pretty inexpensively, so I thought why not. Alright, so looking at the color here, not sure if the camera is going to show it, but it's a really dark blue. It's not black. Maybe you can kind of see the black windows here, and then you can tell that's not black. Although, well, maybe you can't tell, sorry. Well, anyways, it is a dark blue. Really, really dark blue. Seems to be a little paint problem there. Alright, so looking at the wheels here, they are molded nicely, I guess for that era, mid-1980s. A little depth to them. I don't see any air passing through the spokes though. Okay, we got a little badge there, the Skyline badge there. Okay, a little reflector painted on. And then this is a 2-door coupe. I think this was available as a 4-door as well. No mirrors, okay. Okay, at the bottom, wow, no branding. Yeah, it's just blank, but at least you got a painted exhaust, so that's cool. Super thick axles for playability and rollability. The back is pretty weak though. It seems to be the case with a lot of the UCCs. They're just painted taillights. And because these taillights are so big on the real car, it looks very toy-like. So you got these 4 lights, and then you got additional lights here in the bumper. Really weird styling choice. The Skyline is printed nicely though, and then you have the GTS-R and then Nissan there. This little square, I'm not sure. Maybe that's another badge or cover for a keyhole. Not sure. Okay, molded in wing. Alright, totally black windows. Oh no, they're not totally black. Wow, okay, so I'm not sure if you can see the axle through the window there. I can see it. This is a super smoked glass and absolutely no interior at all because you can see the axle. Alright, but again, you gotta remember these are free cars that came with some coffee, canned coffee, so they must have been pretty cheap to make. You had to cut corners somewhere. Okay, so I'm sorry, my camera's having a hard time focusing on the depth of this color here. Alright, so nothing wrong here on this side. Seems to be some orange peel in the paint though. Alright, yeah, it's definitely not the smoothest paint finish. But again, it's for a freebie that came with some canned coffee. I guess it's acceptable. Alright, now, I guess this is where the car shines. It's got some plastic inserted headlights, and actually indications of like light buckets. Like, you got round one, square one, square one. So that's good. The grille itself has some ribs in here. Okay. And then some depth there, some depth here. And then some orange painted turn signals or reflectors. And then we got this little lip here hanging down. Alright, so it's a super light car, by the way. Plastic base, not much metal in the casting here. Well, I don't think it's the greatest model. It's actually substandard to what I usually get, but I don't know of any other diecast off the top of my head that has an R31 Skyline. Again, though, I'm pretty new to this hobby, so I don't know that much. If anyone knows of a better R31, please let me know and I'll seek it out. Alright, so I'm going to just pull out a look at other couple cars here. So the next generation on is the R32, and this one is by Mini GT. It's a great model, by the way. Definitely worth having if you're a Skyline fan. This is by Aoshima. This is the 5th generation Skyline, called the C210 body code, and came out in 77. So what's missing is the 6th generation. I'm not sure if anyone made a 6th generation Skyline that came out in 1981. So if anyone knows that, that would be great to know as well. I'd like to get like one of each Skyline chassis, you know, but let's take a look here. So the Aoshima is a highly modified car, slammed to the ground, and has some various modifications, maybe by Liberty Walk. So it might not be the best comparison, but look at these two. I don't know. This is very tall. I'm not sure if it was that tall in real life. I didn't look or measure it off of the real dimensions, but it proportionally looks so acceptable, I guess. The length doesn't seem that far off, right? It seems okay. Yeah, but but the taillights, just those round red circles, definitely not as cool as the other brands here that are using lenses, right? Lens, paint. Oh well, you gotta accept I gotta accept that, you know, it came with a free with some coffee, so I guess I can't expect it to be as good as the other brands. Okay, I'm gonna let this spin around so you guys can evaluate it and criticize it if you need to. Decide for yourself if you think you want to chase down this UCC Coffee R31 Skyline. Okay, we'll see you later. Bye bye.